"Sign or get out." That's what he said, voice dripping with arrogance, the divorce papers trembling in his smug, manicured hand. He waved them in front of me like a final insult. His smirk was the kind men wear when they believe they've already won. We stood in the living room of the house I had paid for, every brick a piece of my sacrifice. He leaned against the table like a king in his castle, daring me to disobey. I watched his eyes, gleaming with the cruel satisfaction of throwing me away like I was nothing. I didn't argue, didn't plead, didn't even blink. I picked up the pen, signed my name in silence, set the keys down on the polished oak, and walked out. My footsteps echoed through the hallway, and I swear he thought that sound meant victory. But victory was mine. He just didn't know it yet. We met 10 years ago. He was charming then, hungry, ambitious, the kind of man who promised the world and made you believe he could hand it to you. I believed him. I believed in us. When we bought the house, he didn't have the credit, or the income, or the stability. So I signed a loan. My name on the deed, my money in the down payment, my paycheck making the mortgage. But love made me blind. I told myself it didn't matter. We were building a future. But the man I loved, the one who whispered promises into my ear late at night, slowly vanished. At first it was late nights, work, he said. Then it was the sudden guarded phone. The way he showered before I could hug him. The perfume that wasn't mine, clinging faintly to his shirt. I didn't ask questions. I observed. I listened. I learned. The truth came sharp one evening. A message lit up his phone while he slept. One careless sentence that stripped away every illusion. Last night was perfect. Next time, no condom. I remember staring at the glowing screen, my chest hollow, my mind still. I didn't wake him, didn't scream, didn't cry. I simply knew. And in that knowing, something inside me shifted. I wouldn't fight for him. I wouldn't beg for scraps of love. I would wait, watch, plan. His arrogance became my weapon. He strutted around the house like it was his kingdom, not knowing every piece of paper tied it to me. He bragged to his friends that he had the best lawyer in the city. He thought divorce would strip me clean. I smiled at his jokes, nodded at his insults, pretended weakness while I mapped every move. I didn't need to scream, I just needed a pen. When the papers finally came, he mocked me with them. "Sign or get out," he sneered. And I did. What he forgot, what his elite lawyer overlooked, was the deed. The house was mine, fully paid off. No bank, no lien, no co-owner. Just my name etched in ink years before. By signing, I didn't give up the house, I gave him rope. The next morning, while he poured coffee into my mug, his lawyer called. I wasn't there to see it, but I can picture the scene perfectly. The lawyer's voice, sharp and furious, cutting through his morning calm. "Do you have any idea what you just let her do?" I imagine the color draining from his face as realization struck. The house he thought he was throwing me out of wasn't his to claim. By shoving those papers at me, he'd forced a divorce settlement without securing rights to the one asset that mattered. I had walked away with the deed. He was left with nothing but bills, debts, and the woman he'd been sneaking around with. He called me that afternoon, his voice frantic. "We need to talk." I let the silence stretch before answering. "About what?" "The house," he stammered. "There's been a misunderstanding." "No misunderstanding," I said, calm as ice. "It was always mine. You just never noticed." I could hear his breath quicken, hear the walls of his arrogance crumbling. "You can't do this. I'll fight." "You already lost," I cut in. "You signed it yourself." The line went dead. Sometimes I drive past the house at night. The windows are dark now, the yard overgrown. His new life, it seems, doesn't fit into the shell of what we built. He wanted me broken, begging. Instead, he sits in ruins of his own making. I don't gloat. I don't need to. The silence of his downfall is louder than any victory speech. He once smirked at me, convinced he was untouchable. Now I smirk at the memory, because I know the truth. I didn't lose him. He lost me, and everything that came with me. Justice didn't roar. It whispered with the stroke of a pen, and he never even saw it coming.